Welcome to Man Matters. More progress, less noise. That's what we're all about. Whether you're here for your money, your health, your career, or even your mindset, stick around. This one's for you. Let's get into it. This video is about Gulf exit strategy, what every expat should plan, but most never do. Most expats in the Gulf leave money behind when they go. Not because they are careless, because they never planned their exit. They planned their arrival, the visa, the job, the accommodation, the cost of living calculation, but they never planned the departure with the same level of thought. And the departure in the Gulf is where a significant portion of what you built can quietly disappear. Gratuity calculated incorrectly, pension contributions not followed up, rental deposits disputed, professional references not secured before the relationship turned into transactional, assets in the country not liquidated or transferred properly. The list of what men leave on the table when they leave the Gulf without a plan is long and expensive. This video is not about whether you should leave. That is a personal decision. This is about the mechanics of leaving well, financially, legally, and professionally, so that when you do go, you go on your own terms with everything you are owed. The most common mistake men make with their exit is starting too late. 2 months before your last day is not a plan, it's a scramble, and scrambles in the Gulf produce outcomes that calm preparation would have prevented. The right window to start thinking seriously about your exit is 12 months before you intend to go. Not because all the work happens then, most of it happens in the final month, but because the decisions you make in month 12 affect what is possible in month 1. Investment positions take time to unwind without penalty. Visa transitions require preparation. Professional relationships need to be nurtured before they are needed for references. Property decisions, in some cases, require months of notice. 12 months sounds like a long time. Here, it's not. It is the difference between leaving with everything you built intact and leaving with a portion of it. Most expats start planning their Gulf exit 2 months before they leave. The window is 12 months. Here is why it matters. Your gratuity calculation needs to be verified well before your last day, because errors in your favor and against you both exist. If your employer participates in one, has a process for transferring or withdrawing that takes time and requires documentation you need to gather while still employed. Your professional relationships, the people who will be your references and your network, need to be maintained and deepened before your departure is announced, not after, when every interaction is colored by the fact that you are leaving. None of this is complicated. All of it takes time. Start earlier than feels necessary. Gratuity is the most significant financial element of the Gulf exit for most employed men, and it is one of the most frequently miscalculated. The formula in the UAE is specific, and it matters whether you resign or are made redundant, how many years you have served, whether your service crossed the 5-year threshold, and whether your employer has been correctly including all components of your remuneration in the base calculation. Many employers calculate gratuity on basic salary alone, when other components of remuneration should legally be included. Most employees never check. The difference can be significant depending on your tenure and your salary structure. Check it yourself. Know the formula. Have the conversation if the numbers do not align before you have resigned, not after. Beyond gratuity, think about your end of service documentation, your experience certificate, your NOC if relevant to future employment in the region, your salary certificates, your visa cancellation paperwork. These documents are far easier to obtain when you are still an active employee with standing in the organization than when you are an ex-employee whose file has been archived. Before your last day in any Gulf company, check this calculation. Take your basic monthly salary, multiply it by 21 days of each of the first 5 years of service, then multiply by 30 days for each year beyond 5 years, divide each figure by 30 to get the daily rate, and then multiply it by the days owed. That is baseline. Then check whether your employer has been calculating on basic salary only or on total remuneration. In many cases, housing allowance and other fixed allowances should be included. Many are not. The difference between a correctly calculated gratuity and an incorrectly calculated one over 5 or more years of service can run into tens of thousands of dirhams. That is not a small number. And the time to identify and correct it is before you have signed anything, not after. The financial elements of the exit are very important. The professional elements are what most men completely neglect. How you leave a company in the Gulf follows you. This is not a figure of speech. The Gulf professional community, particularly within industries and within national communities, is small and interconnected in ways that are not always visible. The person you had a difficult final few months with may be connected to the person interviewing you for your next role. The manager you left without a proper handover may be asked informally about your work by someone you have never even met. The reputation you built over years can be partially undone by a poor departure. Leave well, complete your handover properly, express genuine appreciation to the people who contributed to the time there, because it is almost certainly true that some of them did. Maintain the relationships that were real. Let the ones that were purely transactional end naturally without drama. The professional community you are leaving is one you may return to, or one that will speak about you to the next one. Both outcomes are more likely than most people account for when they are focused on the logistics of departure. Leaving the Gulf well is also a skill. Like most skills, it rewards preparation and punishes improvisation. The men who leave with everything they built intact, financially, professionally, and relationally, are the men who started thinking about the exit long before it was imminent. Start now, even if you plan to stay for years. Knowing how you would leave makes staying a choice rather than an obligation. And that distinction changes everything about the quality of your time here. The Gulf exit checklist is in the description. Save it before you need it because the moment you need it, the time to prepare has already passed.